Hello and welcome to another update video about FETCH.AI. The Tradingview data I get in here is still calling it FETCH.AI, so that's what I still call it, okay, even though the merger is going on. But doesn't matter, that's just a name. So we're looking at the chart here. Unfortunately, quite weak at the moment. And again, that's all adding up now. You remember I mentioned my concerns now a few times because this larger third wave never reached the 1.38 extension up there at around $4.80. No, it just reached the absolute bare minimum for this third wave, which makes this chart overall questionable. All I can say is, from experience, I can tell you that these possible diagonal patterns, and it is a diagonal at best, these rarely work out when the third wave only reaches the 1.236 extension, okay? So that's all I can say. I mean, as long as we're holding support, it's got a chance. Support is in the region between $1.08 and 53 cents. This wave 4 recently increased in 1 wave degree. I wanted to see one more high in this larger third wave, but it didn't show it. Okay, it broke micro support, and therefore I still keep the door open for higher. But it just, you know, the let's say the level of uncertainty on this chart has increased. I hope that kind of makes sense. There's still many ways how this microstructure could be interpreted, especially with this latest low here. One way that I'm following is the idea that this here is somehow either here, that low on the 18th of June, or the latest low from Friday or even Sunday could be an A wave. And we're about to start a B wave. Yeah, it's possible that the next rally is wave C, and we have an A, B, C completed, and then we break down. Or it's possible that, yeah, it is an ABC, but a larger A wave forms here. Then we get another B wave pullback, and a larger C wave unfolds for a higher B wave. That means, in very simple terms, I know it is complicated, but again, I just try to help you understand the possible microstructures. I would not call that a tradable setup with a high probability, okay? One of the greatest misunderstandings is that every wave is a setup. That's of course not the case, okay? It just gives you some possibilities, and there are quite a few here, which makes it a pretty questionable setup, or no setup at all. At least Elliott Wave tells us there aren't really, let's say there's no clear structure at the moment. Comparing that at the moment to ADA, to DOT, to Link, to ICP, to Bonk on the smallest time frames, well, there was a lot of clarity. We had 5 wave movements in the last couple of days, provided micro support areas, and they all held. Okay, they could have all broken because they all correlate at the moment, but there is nothing like that here. Okay, I don't have a clear 5 wave move up. That's what I'm trying to say. And when there is uncertainty, it's best to highlight that, to accept it as an analyst and a trader, because you might want to stay away from it. Or, okay, if you trade it maybe with a smaller position size, or you've got your own edge, but from an Elliott Wave point of view, there isn't really anything clear here. Of course, you could trade a double bottom, like with a stop below the last low. Absolutely, maybe it's going to go higher. I just don't have that confidence, or let's say, don't have that clarity. I mean, that's what I'm tracking, okay, and it could absolutely happen. The thing is, the last rally here between Friday and the Saturday high, so the Friday low to the Saturday high, is just a 3-wave rally. So, and it shows weakness, okay? Okay, it shows 7% up on Tradingview, but I mean, what is this? Okay, it's not great. So, lots of small reactions to that 38.2 retracement here at $1.08. It basically indicates that the price is respecting the Fibonacci levels. The price is respecting the parameters that I've got here on the chart, right? But it hasn't really given me a, let's call it an impulsive reaction to the upside. If I see a first small 5-wave move, it might indicate the start of the C wave. At the moment, I don't see it, okay? And be aware that if we go higher, there's a possible point of failure here. Well, in this area between $1.67 and $2, specifically the 100% extension level at $1.67 could be a key point of failure. And if we then pull back and it's a corrective retrace, it could be a setup for higher prices. And then we've got the next levels up here where the price could get rejected at $2.74, $3.08, $3.51. Now, sometimes when, for example, a third wave doesn't reach the ideal target, because it didn't, right? It did reach the minimum, it didn't reach ideal. So it's valid, it's just questionable. But sometimes when that happens and the third wave doesn't get to the ideal target, it can happen that the B wave gets to that target, because B waves can overshoot. So I will not rule out that we get an overshooting B wave here to 480. All right. But I mean, there is nothing that's currently giving me that or that's confirming that, right? There's just, this would be an idea. It is a potential, but obviously the chart would need to confirm that, at least with some upside momentum, a break of resistance, and some, you know, just like at least an impulse or something. There's nothing there. So yeah, I think we have to be a bit careful here with this chart. Obviously, this is it could also be that the wave 4 is already finished. I don't necessarily see that as highly likely, even though it's possible. So I've got the wave 4 here as well, but it's just, as I highlight, you know, there are many ways how this microstructure can be countered. And until we see a little bit more upside momentum and, you know, at least an impulse or something which can act as, let's say, a landmark on the chart, well, there isn't really anything clear. So be on the side of caution. Hope you liked the update about FET. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.